Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. So, this is the second video in our series called the 11 Teacher Rules of Law. Okay, and you're going to need to establish these rules of law so that you can have a pleasurable experience when dealing with these students. And when you establish these rules, it's easier to remove those bad elements or call attention to them. Okay, so today in this particular one, we're going to talk about homework. Again, part of my first day speech, and that is, I will not chase you around for your homework. Not going to do it. I'm not going to give you a lecture on how important homework is and you have to do it, and I'm going to call your parents. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not. You're looking at me in my eye every day. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. You can hear. You're not hearing impaired. Okay? Again, if I give you, I tell them, I said, if I give you an assignment, I expect it done. But I'm not going to chase you around. So you can hold the excuses of why you didn't finish the homework. Oh, and I've heard some really good ones and very creative, you know. One student told me my grandfather had surgery. What does your grandfather have in surgery? Were you there doing the surgery? What does your grandfather have to do with you not finishing, questions 1 through 10? Change the noun to a pronoun. How did your grandfather's surgery affect that homework assignment? I had to go to a wedding. I don't know many children at weddings. Mostly I hear adults, okay, and young adults, maybe 16, 17, like that, 15, like that. Okay, but I've not seen, and I've been to quite a few Arab weddings, and I don't remember seeing any children there. I don't remember seeing anybody there under 15, really, to be honest with you. So what did your cousin's wedding or your sister's wedding or your friend's mom's wedding have to do with you not finishing your homework assignment? So after all of that, no matter what his excuse is, I say to them, everything you just told me might be legitimate. It's not for me to say that you're lying. I'm not going to do that. But let me ask you a question. What do you have in your hand right now? Nothing. All of that excuse didn't produce an assignment. It didn't produce the homework I told you to do. So what do I do, mister? What can I do? I said, close your eyes and tell me what you see. He said, I don't see nothing. I said, that's what your grade is. That's what your grade is. What do you want me to do? I'm not going to, well, can I give it in tomorrow? No. We're not going to do that. We're not going down that road because these guys love to do things tomorrow. No, you have to understand what a deadline is and you have to respect it. So if the assignment is due on a certain day at a certain time, that's when it's due and that's it. Okay, barring some situation where you were sick, or you had a note from your mom, or from some authority figure in your household that, hey, Abdullah wasn't feeling well, or he had to go to the doctor, or we had a last minute emergency, some kind of note from somebody. Whether the note is real or not, I'm really not concerned about that. But see, I keep things. So every note you give me, I keep it. I don't throw it in the garbage. I keep it. Either I'll make a photocopy and then give the original back to the student, or I keep it in a little portfolio. Because when grade time comes, you're going to have to explain why Khadija failed English again. Again, she's not doing the homework. Oh, I told you that. Yes, I have all of your notes. Okay. The other thing that the note does is it lets the parent know that he didn't do the homework. So he can't say, or she can't say, I didn't get any homework. They'll lie. The kids will lie. They're kids. They're going to say whatever they need to say to stay out of trouble. So they're going to say, oh no, he didn't give us any homework. He never gives us homework. They're going to come up with something out their bag. So this is where you come in. You say, no, the note lets me know that you know he didn't do the assignment, that he had homework and he didn't do it. Because the parents will lie too. The parents will lie too. Oh, you didn't give him anything. I didn't know. Nobody told me. That's the favorite excuse. Nobody told me. Nobody told me. Nobody called me and said anything. So that note is a protection for you. Okay. But I'm not going to chase you around for your homework assignment. Now, in order for that to happen, there are a few things that you're going to have to do to make sure that your position is solid. Okay. Number one, it's going to take, again, most of these tips are going to take you at least about 2 to 3 weeks for this as a breaking in period, so that they understand. You can't just come in from day one unless you've taught that student before, and then he knows how you are and what you want from him. So you give them 2 or 3 weeks to get used to it, and you'll let them know, okay, you guys, you got 2 more weeks to get this done, or you got another week, and then I'm not going to be accepting any late homework or late assignments like that. So you'll give some bit of flexibility and a little bit of a grace period until you have to drop the hammer. Okay, you guys, this is the last week. I told you we're not accepting any more late assignments. So if you come in with an assignment late next week, I'm not going to accept it. This is your last week for that. Okay. All right. So that's when you give them a grace period. Second thing, I write the assignment, I write the homework on the board, and in the schools that I've taught in, every school I've taught in, they have what they call a homework diary or homework journal or homework notebook. It's a little 5x8 notebook, right? Like smaller than a composition notebook. It's probably maybe a little bit bigger than the size of your hand, okay? And it's just for writing notes, what they call mulahada, right? You have him write verbatim, word for word, the assignment. So if the assignment was exercise B, pronouns, page 25, numbers 1 through 10, you write exactly that. And then what I do every class is I stand at the door. When the bell rings, I stand at the door. And I want to see everybody has written that assignment in the notebook, in the homework notebook. You can't leave the classroom until you've written that assignment. Once I see it, it's written verbatim, I sign. I put my signature next to it. Now we clear. I'm covered now. So you can't say I didn't give you the homework assignment. Whenever I've had students pull that card, the first thing I do, I say, bring me your homework journal. Because we're having this conference in front of his parent, in front of his mother or his father. Bring me your homework journal. Well, bring me your homework journal. Because that's going to kill all that unnecessary conversation. When you bring me the homework journal, here's a homework for here, here's a homework for here, and here, and here, and here, and here. And I'm showing his father, I'm showing his mother, and the reaction is the same from the parent. They look at the kid. What's this? So now you can't lie anymore. I said, see that right there? That's my signature. They can't leave the classroom until I actually see what they've written. And if they change anything, I tell them, no, that's not what I wrote. Go back and write exactly what I wrote. And then come back. You need to hurry up and you get to your next class. You need to hurry up. It's lunchtime. Hurry up and finish writing. When I eyeball every single assignment, I put my signature next to it, and that's it. That's it. Now, the other thing you're going to have to do with your homework, and this will keep you from chasing them around, is that your deadline for homework is always the next day. That's it. Unless it's some kind of like more involved assignment, like when you get your older grade levels. In grade 7, you should start to you should be starting to introduce the concept of research assignments right around the 2nd or 3rd quarter. Okay, because they have amassed enough English and enough reading and enough comprehension skills and writing skills that they can start to put together small little research reports that don't involve, going to Wikipedia and copy pasting everything. Okay. But other than that, I mean, you might give a week for that or something like that. You'll track it the way you want to track it. But just your general textbook homework assignments, always, I never give them more than I know what they can handle in a 30-minute period. Okay, because if the homework assignment, if you've assigned them a homework assignment that takes more than 30 minutes to do, that's too much work. His brain's going to shut down. He's just going to close the book and just take the L. and whatever happens in class happens in class. So anything that can be completed, 30 minutes is the max. I'm going to say 20 minutes is optimal. Okay. So you've given them that assignment. Okay. It's due the next day. Now, this is important. I took the tops, how we have the boxes of paper, right? The copy paper. I would always take the top of the box, right? The little top of the box, because it can serve as a tray. And so in my classroom, I have a homeroom classroom. In my classroom, underneath the window or somewhere where everybody could see it, I would write the grade number. So I would write 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Each box has its own grade. Each box has its own grade. There's a box for grade 5, a box for grade 6, a box for grade 7, and so on. They know that's where the homework goes. It doesn't come to me in my hand. It doesn't come to me when you see me on the playground. It doesn't come to me when you see me at lunch. It doesn't come to me when you are, leaving school and, oh, now I remember, I found it. No, okay? It goes in the box. For us, when we finish the morning assembly, most schools in the Middle East have a morning assembly that lasts somewhere around 15 minutes. Depending on the school, they might try to do a little bit of calisthenics, some kind of exercise or something like that. It's kind of corny, but this is what they do. And then there's any announcements from the teachers and stuff like that, and the principal like that every morning. Okay. The homework assignment is due before the assembly. Before you get there in the assembly, maximum after the assembly is finished. So you basically got a 15-minute window. So some people, they come to school late. Some kids, they come to school late because they have drivers. And sometimes the drivers are get stuck in traffic, or sometimes the kid's always waking up late. He's up late at night, so he's waking up late in the morning. Whatever his thing is, he's always getting to school, late, right? Or there's some kids that come early, okay? Because, maybe they have brothers and sisters in different schools and stuff like that, so they get dropped off early. But they have from 7 o'clock. That's the time that the assembly starts. Everybody has to be downstairs at 7 o'clock. Nobody's in the classroom. So you got before 7 o'clock, maximum 7:15 when the assembly is over, to get that assignment to me in my box. If it's not there, it's a 0. And my classroom door is open, and I keep keys to the classroom. I'll add that in another video. My classroom door is open. So all you got to do is just open the door. You see your box. You put the paper in the box. That's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. You don't have to come and tell Mr. I give you the homework. Mr. See, I did the homework here. I know that. If it's in the box, like you said it was, I'll get it. Now, at 7:15, call it 7:20, right? At 7:20, I take every paper that's in that box out. And I have a little organ file like that I put my papers in, and I have like little tabs that I made and stuff like that for each grade level. So I know what's in there, okay? If I come to that box and I take out those papers, they're all gone. The box is empty. And then at 8:30, I see your paper sitting in the box, and I know you were in school in first period because I saw you at the assembly. I'm not going to accept that paper. I'm not going to accept it. That's late. Yes, even at 5th grade. I did this from 5th grade. 4th grade is a little more challenging because they just are really off the chain, most 4th graders. 5th grade, I always say, they petted and stroked your head. They stroked your head. They rubbed your little tummy. And I don't do that in here. So when you get to grade 5, we starting to grow up. We're going to put our big boy pants on, and we have to understand there's certain things you must start doing. Because you figure when he's in 5th grade, he's at least 10 or 11 years old. That's old enough to understand the importance of time, deadlines, finishing things when they're supposed to be done. Okay, so with these factors in place, I don't have to chase you around for your homework, because that's what the homework policy is. The homework policy is you write the assignment down verbatim in your notebook. I look at it, I sign it, you're free to go. When you come in the next day, the assignment is due at 7 o'clock, no later than 7:15. If you come in after 7:15 and say, oh, here's my assignment, number one, I don't know where you got that from. I don't know where that paper came from, because I've walked into classes, in my colleagues' classes, or even in my own homeroom, and watched students copy each other's homework for the other subjects. So if they have science homework or math homework, they would literally come to school early to sit in the classroom and copy each other's homework. And they think they're slick. And one of the reasons one of the reasons why I've gotten quite good at this, because I had to explain something to them. You guys think that you're clever. You think, as most kids do, you think that if you change a couple of answers, then I can't prove that you didn't copy. Come on, man. We did the same stuff you guys did, but we did it better than you because you keep getting caught. We did the same thing. You have not reinvented the wheel on this. We know you're going to change number 2 and number 7 and number 14. See, Mr. C, my different. Well, okay, first of all, how did you know to show me that particular element to prove that the homework wasn't copied? So you kind of dry snitched on yourself. Okay. So things like that. Okay. The other thing is how you'll know it's not his homework is because when you ask him a question, I've done this immediately after. I'm looking at 2 papers. I'm going, I know his level of understanding. And I know his level of understanding. So you tell me that the weakest kid in the class knows just as much as the smartest kid in the class? La yastawun. They're not equal. They're not equal. And okay, cool. We'll test that theory. So I'm going to ask you, Abdullah, about number 5. Abdullah, do number 5. Okay, first of all, you can hardly read number 5. Second of all, you don't know the answer. So how is your answer correct? And Khalid's answer is correct. And Khalid always gets 98, 99, 95, 96%, nothing under 95% in everything he does. He might miss a question or 2, maybe. So you telling me that you got the same answer that he got, but you can't explain to me how you got it? I don't think that should work. I don't think that should work. Wallahi, mister. Wallahi, mister. I did it. Wallahi, aqsam billah. These kids think they're clever. I'm telling you, sometimes it's very comical, and you really want to laugh, but I don't want to laugh and then lose the whole situation, So that's how you establish your homework policy. Now, how does that benefit you? The reason why you're not doing that. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to stay silent about his homework and that he's just going month after month after month with no homework being done and you're not saying anything. No, it's just that I'm not going to entertain these excuses and I'm going to keep writing zeros for you. When I get somewhere around the 30% way through the quarter, maybe even 45% through the quarter, and I use that number for a reason, I got to start making a phone call to the parents. I got to let the parents know. I can't just, not say anything because that's the homework policy, but I'm just not going to entertain Abdullah's excuses. But I got to let his parent know, listen, I need to see you. Well, what's the problem? I need you to come to the school. I'm not going to have this conversation on the phone. Never have a conversation about a child's performance or their conduct on the phone. It doesn't get received. It falls on deaf ears. And the kid changes the story. No, see, what happened was this and this and this. And so now the next time you call, well, I talked to him and he said, so what, I'm lying? I'm the adult. I'm lying? I'm lying. You're going to take your kid's word. You're going to take the word of a child who's trying to protect himself from the obvious blowback he's getting ready to receive. You want to protect him. He wants to protect himself. So you're going to believe that instead of believing the teacher in the classroom. You might get away with that once, but see, I'm relentless because I'll keep calling. Okay, I got to let you know. Okay, so I need to bring you to the school. That does a few things, and I don't want to get too sidetracked. But one of the things that does is it creates, and don't take this the wrong way, but these are techniques that you must start to use. It makes the parent, it takes him out of the comfort zone. It takes them out of their comfort zone and makes them uncomfortable. If I got to bring you out in the heat and in the dust and in the sweat or interrupt your workday, that sends a stronger message than me just making a phone call. It sends a much stronger message because a phone call can be nothing more than just an annoyance. College teacher calling, man, acting up again. What am I going to do with that boy? No. I need to bring you to the school, look you in your eye, and tell you Khalid is failing. Not he might fail. There's maybe a little bit of chance. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to be very direct because if I brought you here, I owe you the truth. These are the last few assignments that we've done. These are college grades. See all those zeros? What happened? I don't know. Bring Khalid here. I always call for the child to come. Khalid, when you come, bring your homework notebook with you. A lot of times the parents don't know what's happening in class. So anything that the child tells them, that's what they believe. But the notebook, not going to lie. And I'll bring his notebook and I'll bring one other student who always is doing his homework. So you can see what it's supposed to look like. Okay. See this notebook here from student X. Okay. Khadija always writes down her assignments exactly like I tell her to write them down, and then I sign it. This is Amatallah's notebook. She wrote the assignment. I signed it, but she just didn't do it. She didn't do this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. That's why she's failing. So why do I use the 30 to 40% benchmark? It's because that gives you enough time to turn it around if you can. I don't want to call you at the point of no return. We are 3 weeks away from the end of the quarter, and I'm telling you that the kid is failing. That's not fair. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the child. And this isn't a man of this teaching. So it's not fair, and it's not professional. Okay, but I need to notify you in enough time that you can get behind him or her, and so they can pick their grade up. And sometimes I'll tell them, depending on how low the marks are, some of them are around 30, 45% as an average grade. I'll tell them, I can get him, if he turns in every assignment from this point on and gets decent grades, he can probably get a D minus. That's as high as he's gonna go. He ain't gonna go to an A. That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. That's done. No, he's not getting a B out of this classroom. He's not getting a C. He's not. For 40%, almost half of the quarter, he's done nothing at home. No, that's impossible. That he's gonna come up with a B minus? That's impossible. 85% of what? He's only done 35%, 40%, 45% of the work I've given him. And then magically now, in 6 weeks' time, he bumps it all the way up to 90%. That's impossible because he's missing that body of work. And those zeros, they count. That's not empty space. They count. So these things, you have to be very direct with the parent. Okay? That's your homework situation. Okay? From my experience, I've only had to do this per student. I've only had to do this once or twice in a quarter. Only once or twice, usually in the first quarter and usually in the third quarter, because in those quarters, they give progress reports as opposed to just report cards. So the progress reports doesn't really count toward a grade. It just tells you how the student is progressing, okay? Whether he's on track, if he needs improvement, whatever skills he needs to refine. So that's a good time to really buckle down and establish the fact that, homework needs to be done, assignments are given, deadlines must be observed, and so forth. And on top of that, since I got you here, Khalid, on more than one occasion, I've caught him copying math work from Ahmed. What? Yeah. See, I tell these kids, you really need to kind of calm down, because when I get your parent in here, I'm telling them everything. I'm snitching. I'm telling everything. So if you know like I know, you better be cool. You really need to be cool. Because when I get your father here, and you know your father better than I do, I'm telling everything from A to Z. Try me. Test me if you want to. Okay? Establishing patterns of conduct, patterns of behavior. Okay? Deadlines be observed. It got to a point that by maybe midway through the second or third quarter, I could hear this stampede of footsteps running through the hallway to get to the classroom to get the homework. Get the homework assignment. Put it in the box. Mission accomplished. I'm not going to chase you around for your homework. Now, I did have one exception as to the box, and that is if sometimes the door is locked, because I had keys to the door. This is how I keep unwanted elements out my classroom. I have keys to the door. So sometimes I'll come in, set my bag down, maybe I have a little cup of coffee or something, kind of get in a chill mode to get in the right frame of mind before I have to deal with these kids for the next 7.5 hours. I need at least 20 to 30 minutes where I can just chill, listen to some Quran, goof off on the internet. I had a computer in my room. Okay. After that, I locked the door so nobody can come inside the classroom because it's a safety situation as well. Somebody can get hurt or whatever, and there's no adult supervision around. So I locked the classroom door. And sometimes I'll come back late from the assembly because the principal wants to see me or something happened. I've been detained. And so I told him, I said, if the door is locked, just slide it underneath the door. Simple. Just slide the paper underneath the door. Okay. And I know what it is. There's only one reason why I should walk into a classroom, open the door, and there's papers on the floor. And that's because you were giving me your homework assignment, but you couldn't get to it because the box was locked up and the classroom was locked up. No problem. Okay. But the same thing still applies. Once I scoop all those papers up off the floor, anything coming after that, you late. I'm not accepting it. Okay. And again, these kind of procedures, give yourself 2 to 3 weeks, give the students 2 or 3 weeks for you to get accustomed to them, to make any changes. You might find that maybe some elements of the way you enact this might be a little bit too strict, a little bit too firm, so you can kind of be flexible, and amend things. But all that, I'll give it to you tomorrow stuff, that's not going to work. And also, I'm definitely not going to accept an assignment if I've already graded the papers and passed them back. I just handed you an A. Now, I'm not going to do that. So these are just, strategies so that you don't wind up chasing these kids around for homework and stressing yourself out. So that is the second rule of law, teacher's rule of law. That is that the homework assignments, we don't chase students around for homework assignments, and that homework has a deadline. That's it, you guys. If you got any benefit from this, please like and subscribe to the video. Please hit the notification bell so you can get alerts when we post the videos. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.